Hi Alex.
Hi.
Karibu.
Asante.
As a person who has had a privilege to live both in the UK and in Tanzania, what do you consider the big difference between the UK?
Oh, there's so
from?
many. There's so many. The pace of the country. I can't look at you. If I cannot look at you, what are you doing? Are you mad? Why are you looking at me like that?
So if you are walking down the street and you meet the person you like, first of all,
I do nothing. I say nothing. I just hope. Will something happen?
You meet your soulmate and you don't say nothing?
Don't say nothing.
Why?
If I get off the ferry, mwanaume here, mwanaume here. Oh, you need this, you need this. Sometimes it's like, oh my God, just one person talk to me. Like not 50 people.
Are you currently dating?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Are you? Exactly. Haven't found any Tanzanian shababi?
What's shababi? The women, they like to have quite a few boyfriends. And the men, they also like to have quite a few girlfriends.
Did you find yourself in that situation?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have. Tatizo sana.
Watu paka mzungu wamekuja wameshamchanganya kwenye mtango mingi.
No, I'd never dated a Tanzanian before. He was like the nicest guy I've ever met in my life. I was like, oh, this guy's so good to me. He's so nice. He makes me feel so good. He was dating another Mzungu. And he was dating a local girl, Pia. And I met this local girl. And I didn't know. And I was so nice. And she was so nice to me. And then the men here, they just love everybody. Everybody. I get like 7, 10, 15 messages a day of someone, will you marry me? Nakupenda. Nakupenda Zaida. Like all these messages. And I'm like, you don't know me. So how do you love me? And I also don't believe in love at first sight.
At all.
No, dating scares me here. Scares me. Tanzanians are attractive men.
You cannot date men with no money.
No, my problem is I've always dated people with no money. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I need to be a Swahili woman. If I was a Swahili woman, I would have a house here, a house here. I think
if I
they
tell you
believe.
nakupenda right now,
I will say hapana.
your arms or what?
I'm tanned right now.
I've been really trying, baby. And if you feel like I feel.
Bana, mambo vipi? Karibu tena kwenye episode yetu nyingine ya TP. Na leo bana ndio ile siku ambayo mtu unatakiwa kutumia ada yako vizuri. Hii ndio ile siku ambayo kile Kiingereza ambacho ulikuwa unakisoma darasani kinataka kitumike. Niko na a very special guest, a very very special guest ambaye tuko naye kwenye episode yetu ya leo. Na it's been a while tangu nimtafute na tuwasiliane, lakini I'm really glad kwamba leo nimempata hapa na tutakuwa naye, tutadiscuss kama kawaida. Get to know yeye ni nani, anafanya nini. Na nakupa tu ushauri mapema, kama Kiingereza hakipandi, ndugu yangu, this is the time. Fungasha, ondoka, kwa sababu asilimia kubwa, asilimia 90 mpaka 95 ya hii episode itakuwa ni ya Kiingereza. Kwa hiyo, kwa sababu yupo na sisi hapa, ngoja nimkaribishe, ajiintroduce, alafu tutaendelea kutokea hapa. Hi Alex.
Hi.
Karibu.
Asante.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very fine. So, because I didn't want to introduce you, maybe you can introduce yourself to
Sawa.
the people.
Sawa.
Karibu.
So my name is Alex. I'm from Uingereza, UK. I am 31. I was previously working in a bank in UK, but I was also doing acting at the same time. I've left the UK. I don't know when I'm going back. So I'm here with you guys today. I'm really excited. Yeah.
You were working in a bank?
Yeah.
So you're a banker?
I wouldn't say I'm a banker. I mean, it was a hedge fund, if you know what that is. It's like trading and stuff, right?
I also have a bachelor degree in banking.
Oh,
Yes,
sawa.
I did banking and finance.
Oh, really?
Campus, really.
Okay, so yeah, so I worked in a hedge fund for 3.5 years at this hedge fund, and then I just decided I don't want to work anymore. I just want to go and travel. So the first place I had to come was obviously Tanzania because I love Tanzania sana. So here I am.
So how do you feel about this country and everything that is in here?
I mean, I love Tanzania sana. Like my babu, he came here for like most of his life. He died here.
Your real babu?
Yeah, my real babu. So my babu was Ugandan, but he moved to Tanzania. So he was an engineer.
So you have some traces of Africans in you?
Yeah. So my babu was fully Ugandan. Very dark. Very dark.
But you don't look like...
But then my baba is Nusu Ingereza and Nusu Ugandan. So that's why I'm like this color. Yeah, I'm not fully Mzungu, guys, just half. So I have a very strong connection to Tanzania and I love it. I've only been to Uganda once, but I've been to Tanzania maybe 7 times. So yeah, I don't know where my next stop is and when I'm leaving, but I'm having a really good time.
You are also planning to travel again?
Yeah, but I don't know where.
You don't know when?
No, and I don't know where. Maybe Mozambique or somewhere close that I haven't been before.
Tell me your first experience coming here to
Tanzania.
Or Africa generally, because have you ever been to other countries?
Yeah,
Tanzania?
yeah. So the first place I went to was South Africa, but I was very young, so I don't really remember it so much. Because I used to go every year for Christmas, since I was like 5 or something. And my first experience that I kind of remember there is like the shanty towns, which was really sad. I mean, there's such a difference in how some people live in South Africa versus how other people live. But yeah, it's a very beautiful country, obviously has its issues, but yeah, I do really like it. And I hope one day I'll go back when I'm older, because I don't remember it too much. As I said, I was quite young. Other places in Africa I've been to is Tunisia. I just went there for like a 2-week holiday a few years ago. Can't really speak too much on that because it was more like a resort place. And when it's like that, you don't really get to know the country so much. Uganda, I went for the first time in January 2020, just before COVID. And that was to see all my family for the first time, which was crazy. It was like hundreds of people that knew me, but I didn't know who they were and I felt really bad. But it was really nice because they were in the village and they had all the pictures of me and my family, and it was so nice to see my connection to who I am so far away from home. So yeah, that was January 2020. And the first time I came to Tanzania was 2018.
2018?
Yeah.
So how was the experience?
2018, I did quite a few things. I came with my shangazi and my cousin. We did a lot of trips. We went on safari. Yeah, it was lovely. But I think I've experienced the most when I've come here by myself. And the first time I came by myself was 2023, actually. So January 2023. And then I came March 2023, September 2023. I was also here in 2022, so I feel like I know Tanzania a bit now.
you feel at home?
Yeah, I feel at home.
So these days you just come here by yourself?
Yeah, I come here by myself, but I've made friends here now. So I have a friend in Zanzibar who owns a bar, and she's from London. So she's doing really well. Yeah, I've made quite a few friends in Zanzibar and in Dar. So even though I'm solo traveling, I'm not always on my own, which is nice. So yeah.
As a person who has had a privilege to live both in the UK and in Tanzania now, because you have been here for quite some time, So
yeah, my whole life.
Yeah, you can say something about this place. What do you consider the big difference between the UK?
Oh, there's so many. There's so many. The pace of the country. So the pace at which people work and which people do things, and you know, if you're meant to meet someone, they might say 3 o'clock, but they turn up at 5, like I did today. Sorry, guys. Now I'm Tanzanian.
Yeah, Tanzanians in keeping time.
Yeah, it's very slow, you know. It's a slow life. I guess it's hot, you know, it's different. Whereas in Uingereza, everything is very, very scheduled. Every day you know your plan, you know what you're doing at this time, this time, this time. You know, people, they have their calendar, everything is arranged for the whole week. So for me, that was quite different to come here, because someone will say, oh, Alex, I'll meet you at 4, and I'm there at 4, and they don't turn up till 6. And I'm like,
hey.
so 2 hours I could have been eating or whatever. So that's one big difference. Yeah.
We decided to cop up to our way of living in terms of coming late and not being on time.
No, but today I really planned to be on time. I just got the location wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, everything has pros and cons, right? I mean, having a more slower lifestyle, it's a lot less stressed. You're not worried so much all the time. Like if I'm 3 minutes late for work, I'm like, oh my God, I'm running down the street, you know? Whereas here, it's just everyone's a bit more relaxed, and that's obviously nicer. But I just have to keep in my mind, if I make a meeting, I need to think, right, I've said this time, but really it's gonna be this time.
And in terms of the cultural differences?
Again, huge. So for example, we don't talk to each other. If you're walking along the street in London, you don't say hi to people, they will think you're crazy. They will look at you like, why are you talking to me? Yeah. If you're on so we have a train that goes underground, it's called the Tube. And it connects like the whole of London, and it's really quick. Like you can get places in like 3 minutes. But if you're sitting on the Tube, let's say me and you are sitting opposite each other, I can't look at you. If I cannot look at you. If I look at you, I mean, you might be someone's like, you know, London can be a bit crazy sometimes. You might have someone, yeah, they might be like, what are you doing? Are you mad? Why are you looking at me like that? And you might even look at them just for 1 second, and then, yeah. So that's very different, because obviously here is mama, papa, and guaji, everything.
So how do you guys even interact in the first place?
So different. So someone was asking me this the other day at Tanzanian. He was saying, so when do you see your friends? I was like, oh, I see them at the weekend. He was like, so what do you do in the week? I go to work. But what about after work? I go home. So you don't see anyone. You cook for yourself, you're on your own. You live with anyone? No, I live by myself. So in that sense, it's very different. Even my baby, she lives by herself. My daddy lives by himself. Like, it's very
common.
Yeah, it's a lot more of an isolated community. Like, I wouldn't really say we have a community, to be honest. Unless you're someone from maybe a specific background where you've emigrated from somewhere, let's say you're Nigerian and you stay in an area where there's a lot of Nigerians, then yes, you'll have more of a community. But English people in general, there's not really there's no neighbourly love, if that makes sense.
So how do you guys interact in the first place? How do you make friends? How do you, because I'm meeting you down the road and I want you to be my friend, and I am trying to look at you and you look at me, I'm like...
people will be like, what is this guy looking at? They'll think you're crazy. But dating-wise, a lot of people, they use apps. That's how they meet people.
So if you are walking down the street and you meet the person you like, first of all...
I do nothing. I say nothing. I just hope, will something happen?
You meet your soulmate and you don't say nothing?
Don't say nothing.
Why? Oh, it's the culture.
It's just the culture, you know. Everyone's very, like, inside, like, reserved. Yeah, like, they don't really like to take risks and they don't like to look.
But in public spaces, like in the party...
In the party's a bit different because you'll be drinking, so people are a bit more relaxed. But people, they don't dance in the clubs.
At all?
Oh no, they're just standing all around the walls. And then you have the guys at the back just seeing which girls are here. And then that's it. Sometimes the girls will dance, but not really. Everyone's too worried about everybody else.
After you came here, that was one of the things that really excited you?
Yeah, I always dance here.
Interact and all?
Yeah.
Do you find it, are you bothered by the way Tanzanians are very, because sometimes the friendliness that we have and the way we interact with each other can be bothering sometimes to someone who is not used to that. Like you're walking down the street and everybody's like, hey, mambo, uko poa, salama. Because you know, for us, like Tanzanians,
it's normal.
We can greet you for like 15
long
minutes.
Time, yeah,
mambo.
long time.
You have noticed when we were talking, eh?
Oh yeah, long
mambo,
time.
Poa, vipi,
it's like you ask each other how you are like 15 times. Like, yeah.
Is that okay with you now?
I'm used to it now. The only times when sometimes it's a bit overwhelming is, for example, if I get off the ferry, mwanaume here, mwanaume here, oh, you need this. Sometimes it's like, oh my God, just one person talk to me, like not 50 people at the same time.
Don't you guys have like vendors and people who
not like
do
that?
Like
no. you would maybe order like a private taxi or something, or you guys have Bolt, we have Bolt too. But yeah, we don't really have people coming up to you. Like for example, on the beach, you know, people, they always want to sell you stuff, which is fine because that's how they make their living. But we're not used to that back home. Like we just don't really interact like that. Like we're very, as I said, like private. Like we don't really, we're just not as social as you guys, which I love. I mean, I love it. Like, you know, I walk along the street, I could be in a bad mood and someone says, how are you? And I just feel a bit better already.
I also love the fact that you do not just keep quiet when someone says hi.
Unless I don't understand. Because only yesterday I learned, is it Inakuaje? Yeah, so before I didn't know this one. Or Kamakawa, that's new for me. Before I didn't know what to say, but yeah, I always reply.
So how many greetings do you know? English greetings?
Swahili greetings. Mambo. Umeshindaji. Mzima, salama, nzuri. Sometimes people say baridi, but I said
barida.
But barida. Yeah, I said baridi, and they said, you're cold. And I said, I've said it wrong.
Baridi is cold. Baridi is cold.
Umeamkaje, umelalaje.
Umeshindaje.
What else? I think that's it off the top of my head.
Do you remember your
Kile
first?
kitu poa.
Kile kitu safi. Shwari.
I don't know shwari. I don't know how you use shwari.
Shwari is like, is everything okay?
So it's asking. And then what do you reply?
You can also respond shwari. Shwari.
Ah, sawa.
Shwari is like, is everything cool?
Okay.
So I say shwari and you say shwari.
I'm keeping it.
I ask you shwari.
Shwari.
Best experience coming to Tanzania, specifically Tanzania?
It was when I came in 2018. It was to see my family here. I don't remember, the thing is my memory is so bad. But I knew that when I came, I very much had a sense of like, I feel at home here, which is why I kept coming back. I never felt like, I mean, I know I'm Mzungu and whatever, but I still feel comfortable here, you know? And I just feel safe here, and yeah, I've just always loved it ever since the first day I came.
And what moved you to start traveling in the first place?
To Tanzania or everywhere?
Everywhere.
I love to travel. I've always loved to travel. If I get paid, I don't really spend my money on nguo. I spend my money on flights. For me, it's so much worth it. Like,
so you just woke up one day and that was it? You packed your bags and...
for this trip or for the first time I ever...
For the first time.
But the first time, I mean, I'm very blessed that when I first started traveling was when I was young, because my parents would take me away. So as I said, I went to South Africa every year for like 5 years.
In a row?
In a row, yeah. I had my first holiday with my friends when I was 16 with no parents, no wazazi, no nothing. Got a tattoo, my mum was very upset. That was to Greece. If I'm dating someone, I always like to travel with them because I think it's a different experience to travel with someone that you're with versus with friends.
Yeah.
So I've always traveled, to be honest, but in Uingereza, you only get like 30 days holiday a year. So you have to be really smart with how you use it, or you just say you're sick or whatever.
Do you feel like traveling is very important to you?
Because I feel like if you don't travel, it's very hard for you to kind of understand people. Because I could meet a Tanzanian person, let's say a Tanzanian has moved to Uingereza, and I've never traveled to Tanzania before, and I meet this person for the first time. For example, I might be confused why he asks me so many times, am I okay? I might be like, that's so weird, I'm fine. I've told him I'm fine. But like when you travel, you get to really understand who people are and what their cultures are. And also, I don't really feel like UK has much culture, so I'm always happy to like experience someone else's. And I just think that's such a blessing to be able to travel. One of
the places with so much diverse culture is here in Tanzania. I don't know if you have.
You have like 127 or something tribes? 57?
144.
144,
tribes.
Yeah, crazy.
Everyone with their own languages, with their own everything. 144.
Amazing.
Yeah, if you have time, I will take you to Sam.
Sawa.
I will take you to Sam.
Sawa.
to some tribes. You see their culture, the way they live, the way they do things, what they wear, and everything.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Because I think you have been to Zanzibar only. Have you ever been to
I've been
Serengeti?
to Dodoma, Serengeti, Ngorongoro Crater, yeah, Dodoma, Manyara,
Mikumi, Kilimanjaro.
Hapana. Haven't been to Kilimanjaro.
You don't want to climb the mountain?
I'm so like, I used to go to the gym like 4 times a week, and now I'm so lazy. It's so bad. I need, you know what? One day I will. One day, not tomorrow, but one day.
Not this year. Late this year.
Labda.
You are afraid of climbing because of your.
I'm just not like fit anymore, you know? Like I was always in the gym doing weights and doing all these things, and
Do
now
you think you really need to be that fit to climb the mountain, Mount Kilimanjaro?
yeah, because
Actually,
the altitude.
There are stations, so you can
You
go
can rest.
up to the place that you feel like that's where you can. You cannot go beyond that, and then you come back down.
No,
How you
because
want to take it to the
I
top?
know me. If I start something, I have to finish.
Sometimes your body might not want to finish. You might want to finish it, but your body not comfortable.
I know, but if I start something, I have to go to the end. Like I have to know. So I know that if I do it, I have to be prepared, because I won't want to go halfway, for example, and come back down. But yeah, one day.
I have been I've been seeing what you are doing, and I feel like you are a very good. Maybe you don't know that. Now I am telling you, you are a very good content creator. You can create content.
I don't know. I'm new. I'm very new.
I am telling you.
Very new.
You are so good at that. You can create content. However, I am not so sure if you have tried to make a career out of it.
No, I haven't. I mean, it's so new for me. I only started when I came to Tanzania like 1 month ago. It just happened to be that 2 of my videos did really well, but that's only because...
Especially when you are in a setting that has a different culture from where you came from, it is easy to make a very engaging content, because you are sharing your experience from the angle of a place that you are not used to. So it is very engaging. People can articulate with what you are saying.
And you Tanzanians love to laugh when I get things wrong, Bana.
Sometimes I look, I'm just, what is wrong? Is she okay?
But I don't mind. If I don't get it wrong, then I won't know how to fix it, you know?
What is one thing that you were surprised about after coming to Tanzania?
There's a few things. One, food-wise, you guys don't really like spice so much. And I love spicy food. Like at home, I eat Jamaican food a lot. So the food here is so nice, and there's so many different flavors. But if you don't ask for pili pili, there's no pili pili. So me, I have to ask for pili pili every time. So that was one thing I was surprised. But I think that's because in London, there's a lot of Nigerians and Ghanaians, and their food is very spicy. So there's a lot of Nigerian and Ghanaian places and takeaway. So I'm used to spicy African food. So when I came to East, I was like, oh.
So you're also eating African foods in the UK?
Yeah. And Jamaican food the most, so like Caribbean food. Yeah, very nice.
That's one. Another?
That I'm surprised about. The dating culture here is crazy. It is so crazy. It's very different to UK. Yeah.
What is different from?
Okay.
First of all,
Yeah.
are you currently dating?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Are you? It's okay. Are you trying to tell us that as Tanzanians, we, haven't found any Tanzanian shababi?
What's shababi? What's shababi?
A strong man that can.
No, it's not that. No. I just think here, the women, they like to have quite a few boyfriends. And the men, they also like to have quite a few girlfriends. But there's never, I can't explain. For example, if I was dating someone in UK and then he was dating someone else.
That would be considered cheating.
Yeah, and then maybe this girl, she'll want to fight me. It's like a very big problem. But here, it's like it's so normal, and it's so crazy. And so that is quite something I have to get used to.
Did you find yourself in that situation?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Sema watu ni
Matatizo
wabaya.
sana.
Watu mpaka mzungu amekuja wameshamchanganya kwenye entanglement.
Changamoto. Yeah.
So, what happened, if you don't mind sharing?
So I was dating a guy that I met in Zanzibar from January last year. Tanzanian, mainland. And I was coming back and forth from UK to Tanzania. So it was long distance sometimes. Now, I'd never dated a Tanzanian before. There's not that many Tanzanians in London, so I don't really know too much about them in terms of that space. Anyway, I thought he was like the nicest guy I've ever met in my life. I was like, oh, this guy is so good to me. He's so nice. He makes me feel so good. And then it was like, you know the game Dominoes? You know the game Dominoes? It's like a game where there's like all these, I don't know what you call them, but basically one hits another and they all fall down. So it's like one bad thing, then no. So yeah, so I found out quite a few things. And yeah, he was dating another Mzungu. And he was dating a local girl here. And I met this local girl. And I didn't know. And I was so nice. And she was so nice to me. Yeah. But that's what I mean. It's like...
And she knew?
She knew me. Yeah, she knew me.
She knew that you were also dating?
Yes, she knew. She met us when we were together. Yeah, and apparently she said, I want to know why this Mzungu likes you so much. You know, come back with me. And then, you know, that's what happened. So, yeah, I think women here, they like status, you know. So, like, I think if they see a guy is dating a Mzungu, they think, what does this guy have that's making him keep this Mzungu? I want to know here, you know. And then the men here, they just love everybody. Everybody.
How can men love everybody?
I get like 7, 10, 15 messages a day of someone, will you marry me? Nakupenda, Nakupenda Zaida. Like all these messages, and I'm like, you don't know me. So how do you love me? So for UK, it's so different like that. And I also don't believe in love at first sight.
At all?
No. So but people here, I think they believe.
If I tell you Nakupenda right now,
I will say Hapana. Because you don't know me, it's impossible.
What is the level of you don't know me that you are referring? Up to which point that you now consider this person knows you?
In Uingereza, we date for quite a long time. So I would date maybe someone for like 3 months before they're my boyfriend.
Now, you're confusing me there.
Okay.
What do you consider dating in the UK?
So,
because here in Tanzania, when I am saying I am dating Alex, that is like we're in a relationship already.
Okay, so dating, we say dating is like 2 people are seeing each other, you know, they go out together, maybe they sleep together, but they're not officially
in a relationship.
So it's like they're getting to know each other.
But they're doing everything else that is in the relationship.
That depends on the people. So some people, like some women in Uingereza, they will say, I'm not cooking for this guy until me and him, we're like in a serious relationship. Because why am I acting like a wife if we're not together? You understand? So there might be little things they might not do before they're actually in the relationship. But it's pretty similar. Yeah, like here, you meet someone for one day and they're like in love. I just think it's so crazy.
You can't be in love with a person for one day.
No, I don't think it's possible. I just don't think it's possible.
Why don't you think it's possible? Can't you, you derive the concept of love and affection to someone from something else apart from the looks? And
yeah, I think you can find someone attractive and you can be like, oh, I really like this person, they look good or whatever. But I don't think you can love someone after that short time, in my opinion. Obviously, everyone's opinion is different, but in my opinion, you can't really know someone inside after one day.
And in the UK, when you guys are dating, you are also allowed to see other people in the process?
If they discuss it. So I think in Uingereza, it's a lot more honest. I think here, sometimes people, they like to say they're not seeing other people, but they are seeing other people. I mean, Uingereza too, but not as much as here. So yeah, you might have the conversation, like we call it seeing each other. If you're seeing someone, it's like you're not together and you're not.
But you're considering it.
But you're considering it, like you're on the journey to see if you're gonna be together or not. And when you're seeing each other,
so you guys start by seeing each other?
Yeah.
And then you date?
I'll be like, yeah, I'm seeing this guy. Yeah. Seeing and dating is kind of the same thing. Yeah. And in that seeing each other stage is always a bit difficult because people don't know, are they dating other people yet? Are they not? And then they have the conversation.
That you cannot disclose to the person you're seeing?
You should disclose it, but obviously not everybody does. But you should disclose it because then when you're together, everything is out in the open and yeah. Some people don't date other people while they're dating another person. But the problem with today is there's so many options, you know? Instagram, TikTok, dating apps, people you see on the street. So I think now it's harder for people to stay with one person because they might see someone in 5 minutes online or 5 minutes down the street and they're like, oh, this girl, oh my God, like amazing, you know? But I think Tanzanians use their eyes as their heart.
Kwa hiyo, the only big problem that you have noticed in Tanzanian men is the problem of cheating only.
Pesa pia.
They don't have money?
It's, maybe I'm looking in the wrong places, but the guys that I date or have dated in the past, how can I put this? Like, they didn't really have money. So basically, my plan was I was going to move to Tanzania, Milele, this year in May, just gone. So that was my plan. So I was meant to move here with a guy, build my life here, and that was it. Yeah, and I wouldn't go back unless maybe to see my family sometimes or whatever. So for example, I would give some money sometimes to invest in biashara. There's nothing from this biashara. There's nothing. Nothing happens. Like,
which biashara did you invest in?
Ng'ombe.
Ng'ombe.
Yeah.
Ulifuga.
What's fuga? Oh, to keep. Yeah. So that, and like butcher. But nothing really happened with it. So my money is just
Gone.
Gone. He pays me like sometimes every week to try and pay me back. But yeah, I think for me, I don't really feel comfortable dating people now. Not that I don't feel comfortable, but I'm very aware now. I've had a lot of experiences. I feel like I know Zanzibar very well and I know people there. And I didn't know about the beach boy culture until I went to Zanzibar. This guy I met on the beach. So now I know, you know. But there's some really nice people there. And as I said, I've made a lot of friends. But I just think, I don't know, dating scares me here. It scares me.
I don't know when I'm scared, baby girl.
I am talking to one guy now who's very nice, but it's very mapema.
Yeah, but you're hoping everything will be fine. So removing the issue of, you know, cheating and all that from Tanzanian men, everything else, they're perfect.
A lot of you guys look very good. Tanzanians are attractive men. The thing is, the guys that I know, they don't really have much money, so I can't really talk about their kazi, to be honest.
So what you're trying to tell me is you cannot date men with no money.
No, my problem is I've always dated people with no money. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I need to be a Swahili woman. If I was a Swahili woman, I would have a house here, a house here. It's not that I care about the money. I care more about like their attitude to work and are they trying, to be honest. Like,
but you also know it is the level of currency here in Tanzania.
Oh, of course, it's a completely different life. Yeah, of course, you can't compare.
So what is the level of money that you're referring in this case?
I don't have a level of money. I just want to date someone that is actually
capable,
is capable and is willing. And I think the problem is some people, they're not willing
to give.
not to give, to just try and make something, you know? Like, I would rather date someone that has a dream, even if that dream isn't working. At least every day they're doing kidogo to try and make that dream happen, you know? Yeah. And I respect people like that a lot, because it is very, and I know life in Tanzania is very hard. I mentioned it in one of my TikToks the other day, because even in low season in Zanzibar, like, it's hard. Like, they're not making money. Like, and I'm not comparing it to UK because it's a completely different economy and a different setup. You can't compare. But dating-wise, I just like a guy that knows what he wants to do, even if he's not doing it 100% yet, but he's doing something to make that happen. Because then I know, right, if I was to have a family with this guy, at least I know every day he's not just going to be sitting at home or drinking or whatever. He's actually doing something. Yeah, and I respect that so much. Yeah.
So you do not have like a specific level.
I don't have a, they have to earn this or this.
So even if someone is out there, kibanda kidogo na uza, as long as he's working.
What's kibanda?
Kibanda is like
sunbeds. Oh no, that's the
like a kiosk or something, a small shop.
If they're honest with their money and they're honest with me, then no problem.
You're good to go.
No problem.
Because what most Tanzanian men are afraid of is the funding someone's lifestyle. Because here in Tanzania, most women, after you are starting to date them, they move the responsibilities of their fathers to the
yeah.
At a very early stage.
Yeah.
The stage that you so-called dating, a woman is already making you pay their rent.
But this is why I should be a Swahili woman. I would be so good. But no, I know that is the case.
So because of that, most men are afraid of committing themselves to women because of that, because it comes with a lot of responsibility. That is why I've asked you, what is the level of economy that you consider this person is worth dating? Because do you want him to have the money that is enough to also fund your lifestyle? You want to go to Zanzibar, you want to go to sleep to this hotel, you want to eat this, and the guy should come through for all that? Or you just want someone who is capable of, you know, making life going and all that? What do you want?
If my friends were here, they'd be like, the rich man, Alice, the rich man. If I would want it to be that they could able to keep up with me. And what I mean by that is, if I wanted to travel, I don't have to think, oh, this is really sad because my husband can't come because he hasn't got the money or whatever. That doesn't mean I want him to pay for all of my things, because I'm also able to pay for my things too. But I want us to have a life together. I don't want it to be that I'm like, bye, right, I'm going for a week here, and he can't come, you know? Unless he can't come because he's working and he's making a business and everything like that, then cool, I respect it, because that comes first. But yeah, I mean, when I was with my ex, for example, when we stayed in Zanzibar, I didn't stay in an expensive hotel, we stayed in a guest house together. And that was fine for me. Even now in Zanzibar, again, I'm staying in a guest house. So I don't always need like the most expensive thing or whatever, but I just want someone that's working and is at least trying to keep up with me, you know, and wants to have a good life with me. Not for me, but with me, if that makes sense.
At any level of...
When you say level, you want me to give a number?
Not per se, but you know, here, someone can be making money, 1,000 a day, 10,000 a day, 10K a day, $1 million a day. Everybody has their level of economy that they play at.
Okay.
So if you say, I want a guy who has money, or who is capable, or who is doing something, it is different depending on where are you coming from with that concept.
I mean, I don't want to give a number because I think that's really mean. But for example, if we wanted to go out for dinner, we could go out for dinner. It's not like a big problem. I don't want to go to dinner every night. Happy to cook at home, like whatever. But if I wanted to go out for dinner, then it wouldn't be a problem. That level.
You look like you are really enjoying your experience with Tanzanian people and all that.
Yeah, I love them.
Sometimes I see your TikToks, you enjoy interacting with them and all. And there is a very big ongoing problem of racism and all that in the UK, I don't know much about that, or in America, in the Western countries generally. So what is your experience with Black people outside Africa and here in Africa, particularly Tanzania?
Racism, I only really had racism when I was younger, to be honest, because where I'm from is not from London. I'm from a place called Brighton, and it's like the very south coast of the UK. And it's not as diverse as London. There's a lot of Black people in London, a lot. But there's not in Brighton. So when I was younger, there was maybe like 2 other Black people in my school. So I did get racism when I was younger.
By saying they consider you Black?
Yeah. This is why it's so interesting for me, because here I'm white, but in Uingereza, they don't consider me black, but they consider me mixed race.
Mixed race.
So they don't see me as a white person.
But you don't look like a mixed race person. Your arms, or what?
I'm tanned right now. No? Why? Because my hair is Mzungu. Maybe that's why.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything about you is Mzungu.
But kwa sababu my baba is Nusu. So then really I'm quarter. But my mum, she's full Mzungu, you know, blonde hair, white skin, blue eyes. Baba is Nusu, so he's a bit darker than me. Yeah.
So as time goes by, you keep becoming darker?
Oh, I always get darker, yeah. The more I'm in the Jew, I get darker. In the winter in Uingereza, I'm so Mzungu. I'm so pale. But yeah, right now I'm a bit darker than normal, to be honest.
So in the UK, they don't consider you white. You're not a white woman.
No.
Not at all.
No. I'm mixed race.
No way.
Yeah. So even when me and my mum, we have some conversations, sometimes it's hard for us to have some conversations because
they're very difficult.
We're not the same. So here, you guys will think we're the same, but we don't see ourselves as the same back in UK at all. So it's very interesting for people like me because sometimes you feel a bit like, who am I? Am I this person? Am I this? Am I this?
You feel like you don't belong there.
Yeah, like sometimes it's like, where am I going? And like, what am I to you? And sometimes it's good because sometimes people, they never know where I'm from. So I might go to Brazil and they're like, oh, you're Brazilian.
They give you a room.
Oh, you're Spanish or whatever, yeah. So they'll think you're a local sometimes, which is always better. But yeah, sometimes it's quite difficult like that. But I just get called cappuccino here.
Actually, asking that question, I expected you to give me your view as a white person.
Yeah, because I'm not.
I was surprised.
So you guys, if I showed you a picture of my Bible, you would be like, you would be shocked. Yeah, kabisa.
But coming to Tanzania, most Tanzanians consider you Mzungu.
Yeah, always.
Full Mzungu.
But sometimes I get a bit annoyed when they call me Mzungu. Mzungu. I'm not Mzungu. But then in Zanzibar, they always call me cappuccino. Yeah.
So Zanzibar is a bit advanced in tourism and all that.
Yeah, so they see a lot more people. Yeah.
But here in Tanzania, you haven't experienced anything bad about how you look?
No, they don't say anything bad to me. No. People just say, I want a cappuccino kid with you.
Have you ever been to some place and felt, discriminated in some way or exploited because of your color?
In Tanzania?
In Tanzania.
Maybe just for shopping. You know, they give me Mzungu price. Yeah. So for example...
And you know?
Oh, I know. But now that I can speak Swahili a little...
You're like, where?
Yeah, I'm like...
Acha.
No. So yeah, just with shopping, I guess. Like, that's it, really. Otherwise, everyone's really nice. But I will bargain with people, you know? If they tell me Afukumi, I'll be like, no, it's Afunane.
And they're surprised. They're surprised, like you shouldn't bargain because we're in Mzungu bana. Yeah,
sometimes they're surprised, but I think Zanzibar, they're quite used to Mzungus now, so. But Zanzibar is more expensive than Dar anyway, you know? Like, so much more expensive, because they have to import so many things.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
What are the myths that you used to have while in the UK and came to find out that they were not true about Africa, specifically Tanzania? Because I don't think you used to know Tanzania while growing up. You just knew Africa, right?
Most of what I learned, I mean, obviously I went to South Africa young, so I already had that. And obviously South Africa is very disparaged. So you do see big differences in the way people live. So I did know that from young.
It is a bit difficult to experience the deep Africanicity in South Africa because of the presence of white people and all that. But countries like Tanzania give you that full African experience because...
Yeah, I get the full African experience. But I think my mum, when I was younger, she was always very, she made sure that I knew my dad's side of the family. And my auntie, she also was always talking, because they lived, my dad and my auntie and my uncle, they lived here in Tanzania for a while. So they went to Tanganyika, the school in Dar. And they had a house here with my babu, and I have an uncle here too. So I was, even though I wasn't here when I was younger, I was still taught.
Chakula kiji kaka? Chakula? Na umepewa chakula kaka? Watupe na sisi bana. So okay. So my family, they always taught me about Africa when I was young anyway. I always had books about Africa when I was young, and I read from very early. Because most people from the UK, they consider Africa to be like one big jungle from the Lion King and Simbas and zebras moving around. They don't know that Africa is this advanced. That's why I've asked.
I think some people still do. But a lot of people, they don't, because I think the generations now, the generation, and because of social media and stuff, and everyone documents their travels and they do all these things, I don't think it's as much of a myth anymore. It's a lot more accessible than it used to be, and people are vlogging, whatever, all the time about the different places they go to. I mean, of course, there will still be people that maybe think like that, but that's exactly why I think traveling is so important, because if you did travel, then you wouldn't really have that mindset. So yeah.
Alex, what is your idea of happiness?
Oh, that's a really deep question. My idea of happiness is to have a family, to be doing something that I like doing work-wise. Doesn't necessarily have to get me loads of money, but something I enjoy. So one of my plans that I wanted from before this problem was that once I started to make some money in Tanzania, I wanted to open a library for Watoto. So I really wanted to do that, so that kids could read. And because I think, even for example, if you're not blessed enough to have the money to travel, things like reading, you can literally travel in a book. You can read about places you've never been. You can learn so many things. So I really wanted to open a library. So something like that would definitely make me happy. And yeah, I'd say that's it. Having a family in a nice hot place with a good man, not a bad one.
Who is a perfect man to you?
No one's perfect.
Who is your ideal husband?
I only have 2 rules in my relationships, 2 rules. Anything else I can deal with, because there's always going to be conflict, there's always going to be problems, whether it's money or family or sickness or whatever. My 2 rules: don't lie and don't cheat. And if you're stupid enough to cheat, don't lie about it. That's my 2 rules. That's all I ask.
If I do cheat on you, because here in Tanzania, there's a very big difference between cheating and finding out.
This is what I don't understand.
Here in Tanzania, if I cheat on you,
if you cheat, you cheat.
No, not in Tanzania. In Tanzania, if I cheat on you, that is one thing. If you find out that I've been cheating on you, that is a complete different thing. In fact, most women tend to say that. They tend to say, who do you want your man to be? And they say, I just want him to love me and I don't want to find out that
see, I'm not like that.
He's cheating on me.
Yeah, I'm not like
That's
that.
Why I'm asking, what is, because you said, I do not have to lie to you, right? So if I am cheating and I am hiding it, it means I'm lying to you.
Yeah.
At the same time, you are saying I should not, at least if I am.
If you're stupid enough to cheat on me, if you're stupid enough, then at least be honest about it. Because you know what, for me.
Oh, so if I am cheating on you, I should be honest about it.
But
I lose you.
It depends.
It does not.
I'm not saying that they wouldn't lose me, but for me, it's about respect. So for me, my most important thing is my afia. And the problem for me is, if many people are sleeping with many people, how are you protecting my afia when you're sleeping with me? That's something I just don't play with. That's the most important thing to me. Number two, I don't like looking stupid. So the reason the thing that annoyed me the most about my past relationship being with that Mwanamke is that she met me and I met her and we spoke like we were friends. To me, that's so disrespectful that she knows something about me and you that I don't know.
And to keep quiet.
At least if I knew, I know not to go to that place.
You wouldn't entertain it.
Yeah, like it's, then I have the opportunity to make the decision myself. But again, the culture of dating in UK is so different.
So if I am cheating on you,
I'm not giving you permission, by the way.
if unfortunately it has happened that I have cheated on you,
then I would want to know.
You would rather know? Would you be able to live with it?
It depends on the situation.
That's it.
For example, like if we're dating and it's very early, then it's different to us being together 20 years. But at the same time, if we're dating for 20 years versus married for 20 years, again, two different situations.
So what you're saying?
So it depends.
So what you're saying is,
if we have kids, if we don't have kids, depends.
So you are saying there's always a room for that conversation. You don't just
walk
away.
I will always communicate because I want to know what happened. Like, why did this even happen?
So you believe there's a legit reason as to why.
Every decision we make has a reason. Every decision.
That's why I started with legit reason.
Reason.
Is there a strong reason that you can personally say that, this person cheated for this reason? That's understandable.
I mean, I will always think cheating is wrong because I just think if you're going to cheat, just be single. What's the point? But when I'm in a relationship, I'm very big on communication, and I can pretty much, as I said, like, for example, if I have a conflict with my boyfriend on the Wednesday, it's finished on the Wednesday. I don't carry it to the Thursday because who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? Maybe you die, maybe I die. Why am I going to carry this thing on? So if something happens, it needs to be discussed. And I don't want people knowing something about me that I don't know. It's so embarrassing. I hate that.
So to you, you'd rather just know it and
then see what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to feel in this situation.
You are not guaranteeing that you will.
I'm not guaranteeing. No, I'm not guaranteeing. I'm not giving permission.
Then I will not tell you because...
But that's selfish.
I'd rather be selfish because I will lose you then.
But then what if you cared about losing me? Why would you do it?
I am afraid of losing you by telling.
But then why do it?
Batimbai. It was an accident.
Oh, so it just fell out.
It just happened, we were caught up in the moment and everything happened.
No, because there's so many stages to that moment. There's so many conversations. There's so many, like, getting the taxi together or whatever. There's so many stages. I don't know.
So that explains kwamba you cannot forgive cheating. Because you're saying there are stages.
It depends on the circumstance. Me, I'm not a cheater. I've only cheated on someone once when I was 16, but they cheated on me first.
And you paid.
And I paid them back. Yeah. Never cheated since that day, ever. And I've had long relationships, 3 years, 2 years, 2 years again. And I'm not saying I give permission. But yeah, humans, we're not perfect. And I do think if you speak about things, who knows? But if they had another baby, no way.
That's an
absolute no.
You are done.
An absolute no.
That's karibu chakula.
Asante.
What's your favorite Tanzanian food? What's your favorite Tanzanian food? Unapenda chips?
Really?
Sana.
But I eat chips all the time.
Why? You
You
don't
guys
eat
love
wali?
chips. I have wali too. I like pilau. But I also love, I never say it right, makange with like fish. And like pilau. Love that. Anything with an mchuzi. I love things with an mchuzi. I hate dry food. Mandazi. I like everything. Maharage.
Everything Tanzanian.
Yeah. There's nothing I haven't liked. To be honest. What about you?
I mean, I do like, here in Tanzania, actually it depends. It depends on which part of Tanzania are you. Although this food you're eating professionally.
What do you mean?
You see me? I'm just using my bare hands.
I usually do, but I just got my nails done. And I don't want them to change colour, you see?
Tanzanian men don't want you to put your nails. They want you to wash their jeans with your bare hands. You can do that?
So
How far can you go in the name of love?
I've been too far. I've been very far. But I think now that I'm older, I'm tired.
You're tired of eating?
No, I'm tired of going far.
Why?
Because I want someone to go far for me.
What is the most stupid thing that you ever did?
Oh my God. I don't think I can answer that one.
Makes sense.
There's too many. There's too many. But the thing that I always do when it's not going so well, or if I know, like for example, like I know myself very well, I'm very self-aware, and I know my weaknesses, being stupid, I like to leave the country so that I'm really far away. So I've done that a couple times, yeah. The stupid things I won't say what they are because they're just crazy, but just being too forgiving, I guess.
You feel like you're too forgiving? Is being too forgiving stupidity?
I was more forgiving when I was younger. Now, not so much.
Aren't you supposed to be as forgiving as possible?
But there's a line. Like, I'm not here for someone to just do stupid to me and me to be like, sour, enjoy. Because I wouldn't do that to someone else, so why should they do it to me?
So, are you, like, do you expect, would you rather not date, but get married to a UK man or a Tanzanian man?
Oh, I don't know, that's so hard now. I don't date Mzungu, to be honest.
At all?
No.
You haven't?
I have when I was younger. When I was like 19 or something. But not now. As I said, I am dating someone now, but they are younger than me, which is very unusual. Not unusual for me, but my ex was younger than me too, but this one's a lot younger than me.
Is age a big deal for you in a relationship?
I would rather the guy was older, to be honest.
But if you get a younger one, you're also fine with that.
I mean, life is life, but I would rather they were older. I would also rather they don't have kids already.
Why? Don't you love kids?
I love kids, but I can't deal with the mum drama.
The baby mama dramas.
I don't have time.
You don't know how to fight? You can't fight Tanzanian. Just wear the dera and,
You don't know how to fight?
You start arguing.
It's such a waste of energy, you know? Can't be bothered. Yeah, age isn't something I think about, but I would rather they were older than me. I'd like to learn from someone rather than them learning from me all the time.
Do you feel like someone being having less age than you doesn't know much than you? You consider the level of intelligence with age?
It depends on their age. I think education is a massive factor here. You can really have such a different experience with someone who's educated and someone who's not. And obviously not everyone is lucky enough to be educated. But I think the problem is sometimes when you are dating someone that's not educated, it's not always real love, it's just for pesa. Because, you know, life is hard here and sometimes you do, like, people will just think, how can I get money? And unfortunately, a lot of the time they are Mzungu. You know, in Zanzibar you see Maasai all the time, with old Mzungu women walking along the beach. There's even a Facebook page about people that have scammed Mzungu. So all Mzungu, they join this group, they say, oh, I was dating this guy, he scammed me of my money, he had 2 wives that I didn't know about. Because it is a bit of a problem.
How do you help yourself not fall for that?
Well, I didn't, because it happened to me too. But I think it's just experience, you just learn. And, you know, when you love someone and people tell you things about that person in the beginning, you always want to ignore them. Because you're like, oh, but I like this guy, you know? Like, let's just see.
So if I do want to date a Mzungu, you're my friend now, right?
Sawa.
We're very good friends.
Sawa.
Give me an advice, nishauri. What should I do?
Don't cheat. Sawa.
And if I do, they should not find out?
No, just tell them. It's just the afia thing, you know? That's the problem here. Like, people, they don't think so much about that sometimes.
They're just moving around.
Yeah. I say don't cheat, and what else? Mzungus are, they're very different to Swahili women. Very, very, very different.
They're very committed?
They're very committed, yeah. If they know you're committed, they're committed.
So that's the only problem that you really find serious about Tanzanian women, Tanzanian men?
It's the main problem, yeah. Just not being a bit honest about what they're doing. Yeah.
There has been a trend recently about Tanzanians moving to the Western countries,
like
Canada,
Germany and stuff.
Germany, the UK, and everywhere else. You, as a person who moved from where they are going to here, what do you have to say about that?
In what sense?
In terms of, because if I haven't been to somewhere like that,
Yeah.
it's a bit easier for me to overestimate that place, to think.
Oh yeah, you guys think like the UK and stuff is like a dream world. It's really, really not. Like the tax is like 45% for some people. UK has the most expensive childcare. It's one of the most expensive countries in the world for childcare, which is why people only have like 1 or 2 children, because they can't afford it. And they can't not go to work because they can't afford to pay the house. So in Uingereza, it's very rare that you have a house of a mum and a dad and only one of them is working. Very rare. Because you can't afford to live with just one person working. You know, we do have some money, but we also don't really have as much of a life as you guys. We don't really have that opportunity to be as social or to hang out with family and friends. A lot of us, we live on our own. There's tax for everything, and when I say everything, I mean absolutely everything. You drive your car into the city, you have to pay an extra amount. You sell stuff that you've already paid tax on, and you pay tax to sell it.
Again.
If your mum dies and she leaves you money, you pay 40% tax on that money.
40%?
Yeah, 40%.
So in 100,000 you pay 40,000?
I don't know if there's a limit, but the inheritance tax is 40%. Bearing in mind, that mum has already paid tax on that money by earning it from work. She's now giving it to her children when she's died, and then they're paying tax on it again.
So you want to tell me that it is a life that is...
It's very hard. Very, very, very hard. It's a different sense of hard, but it is hard.
So maybe I should go for another reason. I should have a strong reason to go there, not just go there because I want to experience good life.
It depends what good life means to you, to be honest. I personally, and none of my friends, like all my friends want to leave London now. A lot of them want to go to Dubai, because Dubai is 0% tax and it's a much better lifestyle, and it's hot.
Here in Tanzania, when a woman finds herself a white man, because I do host events. I don't know if you know about that.
About what?
I host events. I am an events MC.
Okay.
I do host events. So in case you and your guy are...
I'll let you know. Planning my marriage already.
I'll host for you.
So,
when a Tanzanian woman gets himself a white man, most women or most Tanzanians consider that as a
status.
Status,
that's what
elevation.
I mean. I agree, they do think like that.
So do you feel like that should be a problem because it removes people from the angle of trying to have a genuine connection with someone because of what people are saying about them? Because I do believe there are people who do marry those men for status and for money, but there are also some who marry them because they genuinely love them.
Yeah, I put it the other way. My baby, she's Mzungu. My babu is Ugandan, dark, northern Ugandan, very dark. And I know that when they were together, it was obviously a different time, and for them, maybe people thought that she was using him, or
but
maybe
they were age mates.
Oh, I don't know the age difference, to be honest, but I think even when there's two different skin colors, there's already a prejudice, Tajiri, regardless of the age. But I just think people just need to be a bit self-aware. If I was a 60-year-old guy and I'm dating a 20-year-old beautiful woman from Tanzania, am I really expecting it to be genuine? No, not really. And then when I see the opposite of like the young boys with like the 6-year-old women, they're both losing something, you know, because they're both gaining something, but they're both losing something. This young boy, he's obviously getting a better life if he's a beach boy, he hasn't got much money, but he's also probably losing the possibility of having a family because this woman is old. Then this woman, she's gonna be losing her money because he's probably gonna be with her for money. But she's having a great time. She has a young guy that thinks she's, or pretends to think she's amazing. So it's transactional. But I think every relationship is transactional.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. Whether it's status, whether it's money, whether it's loyalty, like whatever it is, there's always something. Like, I don't believe in unconditional love. I don't believe you can love someone without any conditions. There's always a condition. Even if you don't think there's a condition, there's a condition. Yeah.
Even if you don't say it.
Even if you don't say it. And sometimes you don't know those conditions until they happen, you know? Maybe the husband gets sick.
Then you realize.
You don't want to look after this guy. That's your condition, but you don't know that till it happens.
Are you following up with the Tanzanian music industry? Do you love Tanzanian music?
Yeah, my latest one is Benzi. The Kaguru, is how you say it?
Akanifanyia ushenzi.
Yeah, this one.
Fukuza kunguru.
Yeah.
Kunguru, safi sana.
Yeah.
So you love Mbosso?
I like him.
You love that? You love his songs?
Is he the one that has the song Moyo? No, not Moyo. I'm so bad with the names of songs. But yeah, I always love the music when I come here.
So your favorite artist is... Oh, you don't know the artist.
I don't always know the artist, but if the song is playing, I will know the song. But I'm like that even in UK. I won't know who's singing, I will just know the song.
That's nice. I'd really love to.
But I love Amapiano.
You love piano.
Yeah, Sana.
Anything Amapiano, you're good to go.
Pretty much, yeah. I'll be dancing.
Do you know how to dance? As in completely?
But sometimes I don't like doing it sober. I get shy.
You want to be a bit crazy about it?
I feel like when you're drunk, you're more relaxed. Have you been to Zanzibar before?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Where in Zanzibar?
There's a place in Zanzibar called... Unfortunately, for most of us Tanzanians, we don't go to Zanzibar for tourism. We just go there
For work or something?
we see places to see people and then come back. I've been to a place called Dole.
I don't know that.
It is like just a small village outside Zanzibar. Back there.
Okay.
But late last year, I went to Serengeti.
Nice.
I went to
Was it your first time Serengeti?
no. I did go to Serengeti while I was young. It's funny that Tanzanians don't.
They don't, yeah. But I guess you don't sometimes. Like when you have something, it's not that interesting. But Tanzania has so many beautiful things.
Are there national parks in the UK?
There's one called like Longleat or something, but I've never been to it, and it's probably more
But
like
they
a
are not
zoo.
as
And it's
beautiful
not like
as...
us, like here, no.
They are not like Serengeti.
No.
Maybe Tanzanians don't really know how much they are blessed because they are inside that blessing.
That's what I mean. But even for you guys to have the Indian Ocean, like, amazing. So lucky.
There's no ocean in the UK?
We have an ocean, but it's like chaff. It's like dark green, like, ugh. And we don't have sand. Well, some places have sand, but where I'm from is like we call it a seaside town, so it's a town with the sea. But it's all rocks. There's no sand.
Who's teaching you Kiswahili?
The old guy I used to date, and myself on my phone.
So you are,
Just when I'm here.
So are you learning word after word, or you are generally?
I'd say a bit of both. Before I was learning every day. I haven't done it for months though. But sometimes I will listen to someone and I might understand like a piece of their sentence, and then the piece I don't understand, I will then ask them.
Let's try to talk Kiswahili for 1 minute.
I'm scared.
No pressure, you just say whatever it is that comes to your mind.
It's the listening that's so hard for me.
I will be as slow as possible.
So,
Hey, mambo,
poa.
unaenjoy chakula?
Nzuri sana. Tamu.
I enjoying the food.
Ndio. Nzuri sana.
Unaitwa nani?
Alice. Unaitwa nani?
Mimi naitwa Joe.
Nimefurahi kuonana na wewe.
Nimefurahi kufahamu pia.
Nimeokopa sasa.
Umeshiba?
Hapana, bado.
So you meet Tanzanians on the way and they're like, nakupenda, nataka nikuoe.
Always. And always on my social they message me. I'm in Dar, please see me, where are you? And then I don't reply. They say, please reply. Always.
Kiswahili is beautiful, you should learn Kiswahili.
I love it.
Sometimes when I meet people, I have a friend of mine from the UK also, but he is not Mzungu.
Ah, it's
He's
black.
Black.
From where?
I don't know the details. But
He lives in London.
yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I talk to him, we just talk Kiswahili.
Oh, so he knows it.
He doesn't know fully. Maybe you probably know Kiswahili than him. But I like to talk to people in Kiswahili believing that. But so you now hear full Kiswahili?
What do you mean?
If I speak Kiswahili here, are you hearing me?
I will hear bits and pieces, but not kila kitu. But that what you said was obviously fine before.
So if two Swahili people are talking there,
Bits and pieces,
you can somehow understand what they're talking
but
about.
not everything. And sometimes I will get it wrong because I will understand a piece, but not the full thing. But I love the language. I love the way it sounds because English is very harsh. Like the words are very hard. Whereas Kiswahili, so many vowels, like oh and yeah. So it sounds so nice.
Have you ever had your heart broken?
Of course. I wouldn't. Who hasn't? Have you?
I have.
What? You're lying.
I'm serious.
Not one time. Are you the one breaking all the hearts? Is that why?
What do you consider? At which point would you say your heart is broken? Is a normal breakup heartbreak? Can someone break up your heart by just breaking up with you?
Of course.
So you term that as a heartbreak?
It depends. Like if you wanted to break up with someone, then you might not be heartbroken. But if you didn't want to, then yeah.
Oh, so being heartbroken means you didn't want to end the relationship, but it did
Yeah.
anyway.
And it might even be that you've entered the relationship because you feel like you had to, but you're still heartbroken because you didn't want to.
How's the food?
Nice.
Alex, thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
We have really had a good
I
time.
feel like I'm going to get in trouble from this podcast now.
Why?
Let's see.
We have really had a very good time, and thank you for everything. You know, we really tried to reschedule this thing for so long.
I know.
So it's such a blessing to finally have it happening.
I feel the same. Thanks so much for having me.
Anything you want to say to the Tanzanians before we go?
I love Tanzania. I hope I'll be here for a long time. If anyone has any recommendations for me of where to go or what to do, they can message me on my TikTok.
Where to go as in?
There's other places for me to see. I haven't been to Arusha yet, so I want to go there.
I'm actually from Arusha.
Oh, you're from Arusha?
Yes.
Oh.
I am from Arusha.
Yeah, I really want to go. I've never been.
My relatives, everybody,
Are they still there?
they're in Arusha. If you want to go to Arusha and you need someone to, tell you the places.
Oh, maybe I don't need them then. I'm joking, guys. I need you. And yeah, I just think Tanzania is a beautiful country, and I feel very blessed to be here. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Jamani, podcast yetu imefikia mwisho na tumekuwa na wakati mzuri sana na Alex. Where should they message you on TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok.
Your handle?
Alex, ALIXE. My last name, Abura. ABURA. Alex Abura.
Mwambie maeneo mazuri ambayo mnataka aende akaya visit. Guys, tumefikia mwisho. Until next time. Mungu awajalie muwe na wakati mwema. Bye.
Bye.